Hello, Coach Sisk and the Georgia Tech strength staff. My name is Terrence Smith, and I'm currently interning with the strength and conditioning staff at Kennesaw State University football team. Attached, you'll see my demonstration and explanation for a dynamic warm-up, push jerk, and a back squat. I hope you enjoy the video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Alright, so now we're going to go in our 4-station warm-up. This is based on that corrective exercise continuum. So we have inhibit, lengthen, activate, and integrate. So first we're going to do a foam rolling station, then we're going to do our static stretching station, then we're going to do our activation station with our bands, and then we're going to do our dynamic flexibility station. Alright, so for our first warm-up station, we're going to work on self-myofascial release. For that, we're going to be using the foam roller. This is going to help decrease muscle tension, increase blood flow to get us ready for our lift. Today we're going to be working on the push jerk and the back squat, so we're going to be working on our power areas. It's going to be our glutes, our quads, and our hammies. So now I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so our first form, we're going to be working on our glutes. We're going to be putting our right ankle over our left knee, leaning to our right side. We're going from the top of the glute all the way to the bottom. Do about 10 to 15 rolls on this, and then you're going to switch sides. We get our left ankle over our right knee and do the same thing. About 10 to 15 each side. And then we're going to move down to our hammies. So now we're going to move down to our hamstrings. What we're going to do is just put both legs over the foam roller and go from the bottom of the butt all the way to the top of the knee. Do about 10 or 15 times. And if we want to advance this, we can tell our guys to do single leg. So we're going to move it off to the side and put if we're on our right leg, we're going to put our left leg over top to increase the tension on our hamstrings and get some extra work in there. Again, you can do this about 10 or 15 times and then switch legs. Next, you're going to be doing our quads. So what you're going to do is put our pressure either on our hands or our elbows. And you can do this 3 different ways. You can do our toes pointed straight. You want to go from the top of the knee up to the hip flexor area, or you can put your toes out, or you can point your toes in. Just hitting all the different angles of the quad, getting it nice and loose, and getting a lot of blood flow to that area. Alright, so our next phase is going to be our static stretch. This is going to be for recovery purposes. It's more going to be just lengthen our muscles, because a lot of kids are coming from class and stuff, so their hip flexors are going to be short, their glutes are going to be activated. It's going to help just decrease overall stiffness. So our first is going to be this classic quad stretch. Just going to lay, we're doing our right leg, we're going to be laying on our left side. We're going to be trying to keep our knees together and hips together. So just going to hold our right leg here, hold it 10 to 15 seconds, and then switch sides. Hold it again. 10 to 15 seconds, and then release. Our next, we're going to be working on our glutes, so we're going to be doing a pigeon stretch. When I teach this, we tell our guys to go in a push-up position. We're going to put our left ankle by our right hand. The more pressure you put on the outside knee, the deeper the stretch you're going to get on the glute. So you get up here, put your left ankle up, and sit down. And the farther you push forward, the deeper that stretch is going to be. You're going to hold this for 10 to 15 seconds. And you get back up in the push-up position, and then do the opposite sides. Next, we're going to work on our hip flexors and our hamstrings. So what you're going to do is start on your knees, put your left foot out, push forward, keeping our pelvis neutral, and squeezing your back butt cheeks. Hold that about 10 to 15 seconds. Then we're going to fall back to our hamstrings. You're going to just push your hips back, keeping your hips and your shoulders square. Hold that 10 to 15 seconds, and then switch legs. Alright, so now that we've foam rolled and got our static stretching, now we're going to be working on activation. So we're going to be really focusing on our glutes because we're about to do Olympic lifting and a back squat. With our kids sitting in class all day, their glutes are not active at all, so it's really important to get this work in, activate our glutes, get ready for our lift. So we're going to put our midi band around our ankles. Feet are about hip width apart, toes pointing straight forward. Our first one, going to give you a good stance, knees bent, chest up. Just going to do 10 lateral walks to the right, 10 to the left. Next, you're going to be doing 10 forward. It's really important to keep your toes pointed straight forward in a good stance with your chest up and knees bent. Then we're going to do 10 back. We're going to do 2 sets of 10 for each of those. That's going to be our activation. Alright, so now we got our foam roll, our static stretch, our activation. Now we're going to go into our dynamic flexibility. We're going to start out general and move more specific. So first we're just going to work on leg swings, loosening up our hip and our ankles. About 10 to 15 here. And then we're going to work on lateral. you're done with that, we're gonna be working on reverse lunge with lateral lunge. So here we're gonna, elbows locked out, chest up, back, stand up. We're gonna do 3 each way. Then we're gonna switch legs. Then we're gonna do 10 body weight squats. Hands out, chest up, back straight, squat down, pop it up. It's important to keep our heels down the whole time, keep pushing our knees out. About 10 or 15 of those, getting us ready for our lift. As we push bar, we're gonna put our hands about shoulder width apart. We're gonna get up underneath the bar. Hand stabilizing the bar, shoulder stabilizing the weight. Grab it, step out. Feet hip width apart, toes pointing straight forward. We're gonna set our bellies first. We're gonna aggressively dip and drive through our heels, triple extending through our ankles, knees, and hips. And once the bar passes the face, we're gonna rebend and catch it with our elbows fully locked out. Then we're gonna stand up, stabilize, hold, and then drop it back down to our shoulders. So we're gonna do 2 reps to demonstrate. Then walk it back in, make sure it's secure, and then let go of the bar. All right, as our guys approach the bar, we're gonna tell them to put their hands about shoulder width apart or slightly wider. And the bar placement is gonna be the base of the neck at the top of the traps. You're gonna stand up, take 1 step out, both feet. Feet are gonna be about shoulder width apart with their toes pointing slightly out. We're gonna tell our guys for our depth that they wanna get as deep as they can while they're keeping their heels down, knees out, chest up, and back straight. Before we squat though, we're gonna set our belly. So we're gonna create as much core tension as we can. We're gonna breathe in. Then we're gonna sit back and down like we're sitting down in a chair while we're driving our heels into the ground and our knees out. We're gonna sit down. As soon as we get our depth, we're gonna explode up and pop our heads to the top. Then put the bar fully in the rack. Keep your hands on the bar until they feel it's secure, and then let go and step out.